Hello and welcome to the Fighting Trip podcast. We haven't actually got a guest today, but joined by my co-host for the first time. It's Joe Miller.
Hello everyone, nice to finally be on in it. Was it third episode in?
Fourth, I think.
Fourth.
Well, I counted the 5 minutes with Jack, which probably shouldn't be an episode.
It's hardly an episode, is it?
No,
He doesn't really count as a guest, in my opinion, as well. Like, there's
right.
certain like criteria. Like, to be honest, like obviously, I'm back now, fourth episode in, but like I had a few lads cover for us. Obviously, Bird. Could barely string a sentence together most of the times, to be fair. But he done well. He done well. He did. It was funny for 10 minutes, and then started waffling on.
Yeah. So you're back now.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back fully now. See, once you got us on one, I won't be able to stop. Like,
I don't know why we're saying back, because you were never here.
I wasn't even there in the first place. Be back. No, but I'm back. Good to be in the punch drunk as well. It's a canny little.
Have you been before?
I've been in once, but like not like this. Sitting in. I see you've got the absolute vodka on the wall. Like I like it here. I'll have to come back. I have a few drinks with Big Lee
After these championships.
after the NACs, obviously. Yeah. Come and celebrate the win here at the punch drunk.
We've got your tiny tees and with your belt.
We do. Yeah. The table's looking a bit bare, like, so I thought I'd bring some, what's the word? Not scenery to the table.
I don't think that's the word.
Well, I thought I'd bring about the table because you can deliver one.
That was my plan. Like, I thought youth belt would go there.
Yeah, we'd have
go there.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
at least we got one more, lad.
Well, you've got one.
When I boxed so last Friday now.
Yeah.
Yeah. First senior fight for the Titanies and we senior elite belt. It was just good to get the first senior fight in before the NACs, really, and I think the belts are good. Like, it's a good incentive. Like, when you're having your senior belts, like, I think when you're senior, like, you do want to win them. Like, why box when you could box for a belt?
Yeah.
Boxed a good kid, Joe Bailey. We've seen a lot of each other the past few weeks. Like, I'm getting sick of him now. But another good fight. It was good to get the win.
It was a good watch as well.
Yeah.
I think every time you've boxed him, it has been like.
Yeah, there've been 4 good fights now. 4 different fights as well. Like the first one was my first one, but I was really eager. I remember I had a fast start, and then tied it on, and then typical Masher style, mid a bit of a wall. Yeah. Good to get the decision. And then I think the third fight was a lot different when it happened.
Like, you took your box on the back foot.
Yeah.
Third fight,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah.
I remember you were saying you took it on short notice a bit, and you weren't convinced.
Yeah.
Obviously,
There was no excuses leading into it, but
so you just thought, I'm just gonna not do the bare minimum, but like just make it easy for yourself.
Not get carried away and get dragged into something like a war and like
Because he's
and get tired and sluggish.
hard as nails, and he is.
Yeah, like my hands were absolutely knackered.
Yeah.
That 4th fight. Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference I found with the seniors was not necessarily like the punches being took. It was more the effect it had on your hands because you're hitting like a face instead of like a head guard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need to defend it twice more, and then I keep it outright. So hopefully I'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then hopefully move up to 57 and see if I can challenge for.
Oh, you
Challenge about
2 weeks.
Oh,
I do.
we want to unify here, lad. Oh, aye. Take it over.
Oh, it's good. I like it.
And I'll win it outright. I might let you keep it in the punch drunk, like if you get a bit lonely.
Listen, next year I'll have one of me own.
Yeah. Well, it's just something to look up to when it's some like, oh yeah, I'm your hero now. Like, yeah, with a belt.
Exactly. But then you've got the NACs, like so the senior.
Yeah,
players
NACs this
weekend.
Saturday.
Group as well, they got out of the region.
Yeah. Obviously, you're never 100% sure who's going to be in the draw, but I think 3 or 4 good kids. Well, they're all going to be good kids in the NACs. First senior tournament, looking forward to it. I'm doing 54 kilo this year. I'm not sure how long I can do that weight for. Like, obviously, when you're like, I'm still growing into a man, so like it could be one of me few opportunities to win it at that weight, and then probably move up. And
I'm sure Calzaghe won it at like 3 different weights.
didn't he?
Senior being 3 different weights.
Well, if you start when you're young and you're not like, I wouldn't say you're fully your mind, especially me. Like, I don't look like a bloke, do I?
No.
So I bet
There's a bit of a moustache.
I don't know if
it's just the light.
The secret is just keep shaving it.
yeah, we'll just continue where we left off and pretend.
Few technical difficulties there, but
Yeah.
But anyway, just about as I'll get onto it. Enough about me, because like we are the two hosts here. We've learned about me. Let's talk about you, Joe. So
There's not really a lot going on at the minute. Well, I went to that. Obviously, I lost in the semi-finals of the youth championships a few weeks ago, and like obviously good and all that. But the went to the Open. Well, they call it an England Open Day, but you have to be invited to go.
yeah,
So
you applied,
and then you have to apply, and then they invite you. So I went down there, sparred, like got some good rounds in and stuff, and still waiting to hear back. They said it will be around now, so I'm checking my emails pretty much every half an hour.
So what does that put you on?
Well, I say I wasn't
get
sure.
through?
I think it's just to get on the development squad, which is the one underneath the main squad.
Yeah.
I mean, but you still box ring.
And you've been on that before, haven't you?
Yeah. I've been on it a few times.
So what is it like? A certain amount of meetings, like over the year?
I think it was once every 2 months, but it's crap because like I was invited to train with the squad before Christmas.
Yeah.
I couldn't go because it was the quarterfinals of the boys' clubs. So obviously I had a decision to make and decide to box instead. But then it's just like...
I think that is the right decision though. I think you should
obviously I went on to win it as well.
Yeah. You should play all these boxes over.
But it was crap because I got a bye in the semis after. So it's like, if they'd done the draw properly...
Yeah, because the NACs do it different, don't they? They don't do a matrix, they do just round by round, region and
box pre-quarters, box quarters, buying through the semis and boxing the final, which doesn't make sense in my head.
Yeah.
It was... it's like getting the bouts in as well, that's important, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had 25 fights now, so it's... the more you can get, the better, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, especially you've had years at the heavier weights where it's been hard to come by bouts, isn't it? Like, I can't remember the last time you boxed on a home show. It's always been in championships.
Yeah.
And later on in championships. So now you're getting to that age and weight where people are, like, catching up, you would say, because you've always been, like, a big man, haven't you?
4 times to win the boys' clubs, which is, like, the most I've boxed in the championship.
You had a really good time.
It's been, like, normally, like, 2.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I boxed 3 times to win it, I think. Not 4. 3, yeah.
You boxed in the... Did you box in the region?
You didn't know? No.
Against Yorkshire.
Well, that's it. I'm like 6 times you know something. I've boxed from one to go one region.
I've had my fair share of buys, like, to be fair, but one more than you, son. So...
Oh, I'm not
it might be closer, like. I'm not actually sure how many I've won. I'll have to tally it up, like.
I think I've got the edge.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I think it's close. To be fair, I missed out on the championships, didn't I?
Yeah, that's where you've lost.
Yeah,
Stop, I think.
Because I think I would have got a buy as well. So that would have been enough.
Oh, you take them.
Not a little lazy one in them buy in the sky pocket. Skyrocket, sorry.
But, got a few box cups, don't we? So that'll be the next
I think
time I'm out, I think. Unless I can get a slot on a club show.
Yeah. We're in Hull, aren't we? We've managed to get in the Hull Box Cup.
Angel of the North.
Yeah.
And then I think we're going to Manchester as well. And I'm not sure about Haringey.
I'm not sure if Manchester's for us, so I think it's like a development.
See, I'm not told that was for... there's a development one and an open one. I think that's what Tony...
Run along the same weekend?
Yeah, I think so. Well, there's I was showing our Jack, there's a Midlands Box Cup where it's for under 5 bouts.
Right.
And I was saying like that'd be ideal for him, especially because it was like with his elbow and stuff. I think you'd be able to get a couple of bouts in before it as well.
Yeah.
It's obviously just might not be worth going down to Birmingham just for one line.
Yeah. Well, for us, it's just always open competitions now, isn't it? Once you get past a certain amount of bouts.
Well, his 4th fight was a national final, so like I've pretty much been open class.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, innit? Like, you've been open class, but then also, if you look at how many bouts you've had, like, it's not an open class, like, bout number, is it, really? I think you're getting there now, 25, and say, we've been around a similar amount of years. I'm on 50 bouts, well, 49, and you're on 25. It's crazy amount of, like, but we've been in the same national, like, championships, and, like, up, like, at the higher end, like, the same amount of times, haven't we? So,
and, the amount of like pull-outs that I'd have on club shows and stuff, Rob be like, "Oh, your opponent's car's broke down." And like, there's loads of that.
You'd sell all the tickets as well. You'd fill out the Grind and Social.
Do you remember one year we went to Monkstown and there was like 3 people pulled out the boxing.
Yeah. Did Did you end up boxing them?
No,
No.
box. I've still got the gold medal on my wall.
Have you?
Yeah.
Every cloud, lad. On the wall?
On the wall, yeah.
So didn't actually win it, but it's stuck on the wall.
3 pull-outs, I'm classing
Aye, fair enough, mate. So have you got one more youth championship left, or is it senior?
I'll have the,
Or the
boys,
NACs?
the boys clubs.
Or the boys clubs, yeah.
Boys clubs at the end of the year, and then senior from January.
Are you looking forward to turning senior?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a big difference for your weight category, especially because you'll have a lot more men who are like at that weight.
Yeah.
See,
A lot more seniors I see now, they're like, there's not many established ones at them weights, you know what I mean? They're either like, they've not been boxing that long, they've come through the developments,
Yeah.
or like the first years seniors, do you know what I mean?
I think now as well, you see a lot of people turn pro really early, and I think that's probably down to what's going down at GB boxing at the minute.
But like, it's the Olympics,
Well,
because they're not sure if it's even going to be in.
yeah, exactly.
And
you can't hang around, can you, with that uncertainty? Like,
yeah, well, they're not
make them.
They're not even going to the Women's World Championships, do you
Yeah,
know?
I saw they got pulled, yeah.
Because I'm sure the Olympic Committee, basically, because it's a Russian bloke who's the president of the IBA,
Yeah.
said that, like, you can't have Russian or Belarusian, is that how you... People from Belarus.
You probably butchered that line.
I know. Box under their flag or anything, and he just said they can't.
Yeah.
And just didn't listen to them.
It's just a shame, though.
It's like they're not even bothered, though. Like, you'd be doing everything you can to make sure it was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
But they don't seem that
It's a
off.
shame because, especially the lads and lasses on GB now, like, the dream is to go to the Olympics, and and to have that taken away from you is massive. And especially if you go to the Olympics and you get a medal, that's basically a massive pro contract secured in the pros. So it's life changing, really.
Yeah.
Where now you see a lot of people, which I think is good for the pro game. A lot of people have turned pro younger, maybe have to go on small hall shows and build themselves up, and be in an exciting fight early on.
Well, that's Dan Aziz. Is pretty much what he did, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The small shows. Do you know he got knocked out in his first amateur fight?
Did he?
Like in the first 30 seconds.
Listen, realise. Did he have many out of outs, like?
His first fight was a senior fight,
Was it?
so I'm not sure how many he had.
Well, he boxed this Saturday, didn't he?
See how, like, what a
You've transitioned over to the next bullet point.
the boxing and the
Speaking of Dan, he boxed Saturday, didn't he?
do you know what? I actually did alright. I DM'd him afterwards.
Did you?
I haven't done. I used to do it all the
I
time.
see now you've got the podcast account. You're just all over it.
I haven't done it for years. But for some reason, I've listened to him on Groves' podcast, and I obviously watched him box, and I just thought, I want to be mates with Dan, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I dropped him a message.
He's just one of them throwback fighters, isn't he? He wears, is it the Marvin Hagler shorts?
Yeah.
And just loves to get stuck in. He's a good lad, Dan Aziz, to be fair. I remember when I was younger, I would do the same. I would message like Eddie Hearn on the top. I just prayed for like a response, and then when you got one, you were buzzing.
I remember.
No, I don't like arse now, Joe.
No.
We're 18 now. Like,
Well, he might be like, oh, alright, mate, do you want to come down?
we might come on the podcast. That's more important. That should be your main priority. Never mind sparring.
I'm a boxer, primarily, do you know what I mean?
Boxer podcaster.
Boxer, podcaster, salesman, you know what I mean?
Of everything.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah. Well, pulling up the house, I didn't realise how many cars you've got on the drive, like.
What can I say?
I know. Man of many talents.
That's it. Well, we're going to not podcast, a press conference.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
Yeah.
Got a message asking if I want to go to cover it or something.
Yeah. So basically, like, we are the new IFL TV.
Well, I don't want to like.
You're the new Kim.
I don't want to like put their backs up against the wall a bit, but we're coming for them.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't want to ruffle a few feathers yet, but just a subtle like.
Yeah.
We'll come
I
and
reckon
take over.
a couple of months, and then they're going to be looking, going, bloody hell, this fighting fit.
Doing it for us. And then the best thing as well, you get their media passes, you get ringside seats. That's what I'm thinking about.
I hadn't thought about that, but that.
No, I'm sure you get the passes, then you get to sit ringside, yeah, and like obviously access to interview everyone.
Well, do you remember RJ Draper? Obviously, our boxing advice. He did an interview with IFL Kurgan.
I remember watching it.
But obviously, he doesn't know him, and it's probably the first time he's met him. But he sat there in the chair and he's like, well, you know, Cougs, and as if the best mates. But like that's what IFL's like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, it's not an interview; it's almost just mates talking.
Yeah. I've met Kurgan actually. I've met him at.
I've seen him,
but he's massive. He's absolutely massive. They all are. Eddie is. Kurgan is. Like, there must be 6'4" plus. But I remember, like, I was getting pictures of all the boxers, like, oh, excuse me, mate, can I get a picture? Like, oh, I made no props, like, straight away, come to give us a picture. Went to Coogan, he was sat out there, excuse me, Coogan, 1 minute, mate, just finishing up editing there. Honestly, I should have walked away, like,
Yeah.
like, the disrespect. But that weird, I thought, like, where's Coogan? So I thought I'll hang about, and to be fair, he did finish his editing or whatever, and give us a picture, bless him.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just never forget things like that, Joe. You know who treats you well in life and who doesn't.
But I remember there's that security guard who does the matchroom shows.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, he's the biggest bloke I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, he must be like 6'8", something like
Yeah,
that.
he was there at the Eagles Arena. I don't know if it's still called that, the smaller arena.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And Lawsy was on first, and all of his fans were still queuing outside. And that big boy was like at the front of the entrance, like blocking them all from going in. They all just rushed them, like it was brilliant. Yeah. So obviously Lawsy was just about to come on, and they went in the arena. So I think someone just like, right, come on, waved them all in, and fences got took away, like all sorts.
The bomb squad.
Oh, he didn't know what hit them. The security guard.
Well, I'm thinking about who else boxer of the week. Did you watch the Takam Yoka fight or not?
No, but I was like, I always go on Twitter and just look.
Yeah.
To see how people are like seeing it.
It was a really like bad scorecards all.
Yeah.
Because I think two of them give it a Takam by a round, and one of them give it Yoka, and like he wasn't near enough.
Well, I was checking Twitter and everyone was just saying, "Oh, Takam's like rolling back the ears." He's schooling them a little bit.
There was no confidence in anything Yoka did. Like,
Yeah.
he was obviously coming in off a loss, and like quite a bad loss to Bacoli.
Yeah.
And there was no like conviction. He was just.
Well, it sounds like a similar sort of fight because Bacoli beat him on points, didn't he? But the scorecards were a lot closer than what the fight was like.
But like Takam was pushing the pace, and he's 42. Do you know? Like he shouldn't be pushing the pace against like a young man like Yoka.
Well, it's just there's a lot of like corruption around Yoka. I would say, like obviously the Olympic final with Joyce.
Yeah.
Like that was proven to be corrupt.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Joyce should literally
give. Feel sorry for them though, because it's like it's probably not Yoka's fault.
Well,
he probably doesn't know anything about it, and then he feels like he's won that gold medal and he's worked his life for it, and then someone's saying, "Oh no, it was corrupt." Like you didn't really deserve it.
Like he's not in control of that, really, is he?
No, not at all.
I think, and like he's the only. Well, I can't think of any other like top world class boxers in France. Can you?
Carlos Takam.
Apart from
it was like a French derby, which I think is why.
Like obviously he's carrying the torch for French boxing, really, and they probably don't want to see him get beat.
His nickname was literally the French AJ, so that was like the pressure that piled on him.
Yeah. So obviously they're going to give him every opportunity to win, but like, it's sad really that it was a split decision and the scorecards were that close with Takam done so well, but at least the right man won.
Yeah.
But obviously the scorecards are still rubbish, like.
Because people were saying, before it was announced, like on Twitter and stuff, they're saying like, there's going to be some horrendous cards read out here.
Yeah, people were saying that. I hope Takam doesn't get shafted, like, and he nearly did.
I think that's probably his last big win, though. Yeah. But especially with them both being French, it's like it's a big win.
He's won that big derby, like, you'd think he'd go up in the rankings.
Well, he called out Dylan White.
Did he?
Yeah.
Not a bad fight, to be fair.
No, and I think they're both probably seen better.
I'd like to say Takam's exciting, isn't he? So is Dylan White.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm sure, like, you get another couple of good fights off the back of that win, like, definitely.
Yeah. Well, in other heavyweight news, Fury's come out today saying that he won't sign for Usyk if there's a rematch clause. He wants it to just be like, just agree for the one fight, which I don't disagree. I hate rematch clauses, to be honest. I think slow down the sport, you know what I mean? People get tied up for like years. Rematch. Well, we would have got the Joshua Fury fight if it wasn't for Wilder's rematch clause.
Yeah.
When that was their second fight anyway. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I hate rematches when, say, they're unnecessary. It's like, say, Triple J Canelo, there were 3 great fights, but the third fight was like, I wasn't really that fussed because I kind of knew what the outcome was going to be. But like, from a professional boxer point of view, like, you need rematch clauses in there just to cover yourself. Like, if I was Usyk, it would be silly not to have a rematch clause in there. Like, what happens if something goes wrong in the fight? And
I don't know. I just think it's more exciting. There's more at stake if there's no rematch.
Yeah, I agree. But I think from a business perspective, I think you need them in. Like, I do. And I think between Fury and Usyk, like the online negotiation, what's going on now, I think Fury's come out the worst.
Well, I think that's probably why he's come out with a rematch clause, because he's losing a bit of, like, he was obviously the favourite, but like everyone liked him as well, and the public loved him and everything, whereas now like that's shifted a bit, and people are thinking that he's trying to avoid the fight, and Usyk's come across really well when he accepted the 70-30 thing, because
it's because he remains consistent, where Fury, he says a different thing every day. I love him. I love what he's done, like his achievements. I think he's class. I love his charisma, but he just says something different every day. You don't know what to believe.
Yeah, but it's almost like Usyk's called his bluff with the 70-30 thing, though. Yeah. It seemed like they were just lowballing him, and then he's just went,
but if he's calling his bluff, does Fury really want the fight then? If he's trying to price Usyk out of it?
Yeah, I just think it's like the public were on side with Usyk after he accepted the 70-30.
Yeah. So then throw the spanner in the works.
I think by Fury saying, let's have a no rematch, that's kind of getting the public on his side a bit.
Do you think?
Because people don't like rematch clauses, like especially it's casual boxing.
See, from the way I see it, it's Fury adding another clause to try and like make Usyk come out like he has and say, no, I'm not doing it. Like, do you think 70-30 is fair?
No, probably not.
No, I would say 60-40 Fury, because he probably is the main job. But then you got to think Usyk's got what, 3 of the 4 belts?
Yeah, I just think as well Usyk. I don't think he'd be bothered about a rematch clause particularly.
Yeah,
like he's unbeaten. Well, he's not. He's taken on every world champion.
His promoters come out and said, Usyk's promoters come out and said just now he's not taking the fight with no rematch clause.
Really?
Yeah. So
see, that surprises us, to be honest.
It's just business, innit? Like, you don't go into the biggest fight of your life without having a rematch clause, without having that, like, not insurance policy, but like just that there in case anything like a freak injury happens in the fight, or like Usyk gets cut over 4 rounds and Fury wins. You just need it to cover yourself.
I just think some of them it's hard to sell when there's a rematch clause. Like, obviously Fury Wilder 3 was a great fight, but Fury Wilder 2 was a dominant performance from Fury, and it's like,
so the third fight, like, it was a great fight, but I don't think it wasn't anticipated. I didn't anticipate that great fight.
I don't think it's harder to sell, especially like the Eubanks Liam Smith fight.
Yeah,
like that was. I thought Liam Smith won the first 2 rounds. Eubank probably won the 3rd, and then Liam Smith destroyed him and stopped him in the 4th. And it's like, how do you sell a rematch and convince people that it's going to go any different?
Well, I think obviously Eubank, he looked finished, didn't he? Like, he looked like his punch resistance has gone. No one's ever seen him like that before.
It was almost like he knew though. Do you know what I mean? It was like,
and he was just like sell the fight still.
No, the way he boxed almost a bit gun shy, and like he knew that if he got caught, he was going to get hurt.
Yeah. Obviously, he's been with Roy Jones for a few years now, and he does try and box a lot more, didn't he? But I thought he would try and box. It wouldn't work because Liam is so, like, he's an underrated boxer. He's really clever when he's in there, and you'd think he would revert a type, and it would be a bit of a shootout. Like, Eubank would engage a lot more and throw like his combinations and his engine, which is what he's known for and wins and fights. So, like, to not see that and to see him get wiped out pretty much was.
I was young. I watched it with Gemma.
Yeah.
And she was trying to get us to have a bet. She was like, go on, put a tenner on it. And she was going with Smith. So I'm pleased I didn't like that.
Oh, were you going to go Eubank?
I was convinced. I thought Eubank was the fresher of the 2, was the bigger of the 2. And I was confident he'd get it done.
Well, out of say the 4 main outcome, which was like Smith points, Smith KO, Eubank points, Eubank KO, I'd say Smith KO was the only outcome where nobody saw happening. Like, you could maybe see Smith like chipping away and winning a point, like close points decision. You could see the same with Eubank, like close either way, and then you could also see Eubank being too big and wipe him out. No one ever thought Smith would win by KO. I don't think.
No. Well, there was in the corner. I can't remember his name. Liam Smith's coach.
Yeah,
like the trainer at Rotunda.
Oh, it's Joe McNally, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Apparently the 3rd round he was saying like just sparring, and then before the 4th round he said, right, like let's fight him now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's almost like he got on into thinking that like got you back to feel comfortable and like with the pace and the distance and everything, and then suddenly the next round turned it up
Yeah.
and took him out.
It's also probably having a look because Eubank's dangerous early on. We've seen that when he boxed Liam Williams. I think he had Williams down with a jab very early on, didn't he? Really sharp.
Weird fight.
It was, yeah. He's up and down like a yo-yo, wasn't he? But then he come on quite strong.
Yeah,
he did win a few of them.
It was
that
like,
round.
It was almost like Eubank lost interest towards the end and just
Well, he came out and said he didn't want to finish him off. He wanted to make him suffer, which is like
it's an easy thing to say though, isn't it?
Yeah. But like,
he didn't really make him suffer, to be honest.
He put him down off boxing. He put him down off the jab, timing him coming in. The famous pull, as me dad would say.
Yeah.
No, we'll get that. We'll the pull.
I think
I don't want it. It's a secret, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't want people to
not be happy like raining the
early not.
East Durham.
He's in bed at home now.
Durham secret.
I think he'll be alright. Be in a sunbed somewhere. In bed at home. Round a pool.
Yeah.
He'll be alright, the lad. So,
well, you've just been crack out. Should we get a bit of...
we'll bit of
boxing a bit. You went out switch and stuff, didn't you?
I did, yeah. 4 nights crack out. Unbelievable experience. Like, I think a few people I've spoken to have been like, oh, like, why would you want to go? Like, why would you want to go and experience? Like,
I always, in my head, I would just think I wouldn't enjoy. It's not something I would choose to do.
Well, you don't go there and have fun, like enjoy. But there's a quote on the wall, and I think it's those who don't remember the past are condemned to repeat it. And I think that's good because like you go, you learn about what happened, learn about how like awful it was, and you have like an appreciation, like of how bad it was and like and what they went through. So yeah, it was a really good experience. Like seeing all the shoes and the pots and like the gas canisters, like how many they used. It's just frightening. Like it's just like crazy.
Is it like a proper eerie like vibe?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, there was a rumour there that no bird has ever flew or been seen to fly over Auschwitz like since it got liberated. So like me and Kate were looking around, like thinking like looking for any birds, couldn't see any, and then like towards the end of the trip, like there's these like biggest cluster of birds I've ever seen just comes like shooting into the camp, and then like back up. I was like, oh, that's the end of that room. Well, true. Nah, that's a load of bollocks, mate. Bollocks.
It sounds good though, doesn't it?
Like to get eerie, like there's nothing in the air, but no, just the biggest cluster of birds I've ever seen.
Yeah,
flew over the camp, so that's the end of that.
They'll be fuming now. They'll be soon.
That'll be one of the main things, won't it?
Destroying the.
I tell you, I think it's
main attraction.
It's government owned because obviously I think the Polish government decided to keep it.
They must do a lot for charity though. You'd think.
I think there's a lot of like I think it's a foundation where like other countries have like donate. I think Germany's the biggest donor for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
To help like preserve it because there was a lot of tents over like the barracks. To like for preservation work, because obviously it's like 100 years old now, or nearly 100 years old. So like the buildings are going to wear and wear that, so they're trying to like preserve it as much as they can.
Well, I remember. Have you ever like seen the film The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas?
I watched it the night after we'd been, and it hit so much different. Like,
well,
it was awful.
In year 3, they read us it, right? So I'm like, must be like 8 or something. I don't know. I've covered since.
I've never read the book. Like,
it was horrible, but like. We didn't know what it was about until the end, so we just thought, oh, it was this nice kid Bruno, and like then in the end when he gets like, not spoiled it, but it was horrific.
Yeah. There's another. I think it's Schindler's List. Everyone goes on about that.
Yeah, I've not seen.
I think I'll have to watch that as well.
But yeah, I'm not into all this.
No, it's a
bit.
I don't know how you can say you find the war interesting, but like, I quite like learning about it. It was definitely good to go. Definitely recommend. Yeah. Really cheap flights there.
I would go on.
And it's probably colder here in the UK than in Poland, so
yeah,
like it's not as bad as you see. But the old market was good as well. Like they have I think it's the biggest indoor market in Europe or something.
Alright.
But I wouldn't go back because once you've seen it and like you've been to Auschwitz, you don't want to go back for a second.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, let's just talk about the next gen show that Matchroom's got on.
Yeah,
because it's at the weekend.
Saturday.
I'm excited for it. Like, it'll be good. Especially, I think it's almost. I know it sounds a bit weird, but it's good for Matchroom that the Phil Jeffries show last week, because it's almost like Ritzen's time of being like the main attraction in the northeast is kind of like past now.
Yeah,
and then it's a perfect. And then like natural transition for like the new lads.
Yeah, time for the young guns to step up in it.
Yeah, so I think it's probably good timing and like there's some class lads boxing as well. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I remember years ago, the only ever show I remember going to in Newcastle was, I think, Frankie Gavin. Oh no, it was Stuart Hall, Martin Ward.
Right. Okay.
Remember that years ago?
I think that's a bit.
I think
a white time.
It was that one, and Frankie Gavin was on one, and AJ was in Newcastle as well. But apart from that, there was no like real northeast fighter that would headline and sell all the tickets. Where we've had Richardson recently had like 3 massive wins for the British title at lightweight, and then he brought some class nights with Robbie Davis, even Patera.
Yeah.
It was a good night. It was a class fight. Obviously now getting beat off O'Hara, you'd think he's going to have to maybe drop down to domestic level. There's still some good fights out there, I think.
He put a thing on saying that he thinks that'll be his last fight, like up here.
Really?
In the northeast, and that he'll have a few as like the away fighter.
Corner, yeah.
And then that'll probably be him done.
Yeah. No, there's still some like big fights out there. I saw straight after the O'Hara Davis fight, Dalton Smith being mentioned. Yeah. Which on like it's a good step up for Smith in it. Like going from the British at 140 to Ritson, like
and that's the next step. They did Adam Nazim, Dalton Smith now.
Yeah.
They're not gonna but it's just for a British title to
hasn't Dalton Smith signed with Sky as well?
No, I think he's still.
Is he still with
he had one fight on Sky, but I think they won the purse bids because it was British fight.
Okay.
So I think that was what the crack with that.
Well, different promotional companies it's going to be all, isn't it? But they'll keep that for years now.
Because it could be a massive fight.
It could be.
I think they're two of the the best belts set.
Yeah, in Britain. But like, there's also a lot in the northeast as well.
Yeah, because they've got Cyrus Pattinson headlining, and then obviously you've got Callum French on against John Nelson, which is like both from the northeast. It's good. Pat McCormack's on, Mark Dickinson's on.
Yeah.
And then you've got like Ada Reichard from Sunderland. Like that.
No, it's good to see everyone on it, like to be getting the platform they deserve.
There's that English title fight, the heavyweight. Solomon Dakers versus
Bismay. Yeah.
So it's good because I think. Then you got Hobie Price, but other than that, pretty much every fight's got a northeast.
I don't think we've had talent in the pros like we do now than ever before. So as long as like they keep winning, keep building the profiles, there'll be some absolute monster nights in Newcastle, like especially. Like you think McCormack could go on to win world titles, so could Dickinson and Patterson and French. They all could really. Yeah. So no, that's exciting. Obviously they're still young pups now, and it's a next gen show, and it's just
Well, I think obviously Cyrus turned over first, didn't he? Which is why he's sort of head of the rest season, and why he's headlining. Yeah, and obviously he's a 2-time British champion, something that Chris Jenkins.
Yeah, he's been about years.
So it's a step up,
and it's for a title as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
so it'll be 10 rounds. I think Cyrus has done 10 rounds before, though, hasn't he? I think these last 5 maybe.
Yeah, you won like an IBO international. Yeah, so it'll have been for.
It's just good to see him stepping up quite quickly as well. Before you know it, there'll be some big fights on the way, like.
Yeah, definitely.
And we'll have to get on the undercard, won't we? A few years' time.
We will.
Yeah.
But I think that's spot on, to be honest. We'll just leave it there. We'll have to sort out the little gap in between when the computer stopped working. But other than that,
happens to the best of them, lad.
Well, it does. They're always saying that the mic's died, or I was going to say the camera's died, but we don't do that yet.
We'll get one soon, though.
No, it's coming.
We'll both need a haircut for that, like Jesus.
I know. Well, we need to
shot a bit, like
do the thumbnail.
The little picture.
Get the belt in.
Get the belt. Aye. Well, no, it's been great. I've enjoyed it. Cheers for having us on, mate.
Oh, it's alright.
I feel like a guest, but
hopefully you'll be on more often.
Yeah.
And we'll be talking to guests.
Like this one, I feel like the guest, but like in future ones, the more I do, I'll be the co-host.
You'll move around. You'll be sat there.
I'll be top of the table, won't I? Yeah.
Lawrence McKenna.
Yeah. Oh, don't
true Geordie.
Don't compare me to him. Are you the true Geordie, like, yeah?
Well,
would you say you have similar traits to the true Geordie?
No.
No.
I'm not commenting on that.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. We'll see you next week.
Nice one.